Hey there, future scientists! Get ready for an adventure through time, where we'll explore how people used to get the things they needed long, long ago. It's a journey that will take us back to a world without stores, without money, and without all the conveniences we have today. Are you ready to see how our ancestors managed to thrive? Bill Nye here. And today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of early human economies. We're going to uncover the secrets of how people traded and shared resources before the invention of currency. It's a story of ingenuity, cooperation, and a little bit of clever problem solving. Let's travel way back to the time of cave people, tens of thousands of years ago. Imagine a world where survival depended on your ability to find food, build shelter, and protect yourself from the elements. These early humans lived in small communities and relied on each other for support. Before pizza, before supermarkets, before anything resembling the food systems we know today. Food was scarce and every meal was a challenge. They hunted animals, gathered plants, and foraged for anything edible they could find. Before video games, no screens, no internet, no distractions from the daily grind of survival. Life was simple, but it was also incredibly demanding. They had to be resourceful and creative to make the most of what they had. Meet Ugg, who finds shiny rocks. Ugg wasn't just collecting any old rocks. He had an eye for the special ones, the ones that sparkled and caught the light. He knew these rocks could be used for tools, for decoration, or even for trading with others. And Og, the best berry picker in the valley. Og knew all the best spots for finding the juiciest, most delicious berries. She spent her days carefully gathering them, knowing that they were a valuable source of food and nutrients for her community. Ugg wants berries. Og wants rocks. They both recognized the value of what the other possessed. Ugg knew that berries were essential for a healthy diet, and Og understood the importance of having strong, sharp rocks for various tasks. So, they trade. This simple act of exchanging goods was the foundation of their economy. It allowed them to get the things they needed without having to rely solely on their own skills and resources. This is called bartering. It's a system where people exchange goods or services directly without using money. It's one of the oldest forms of trade, and it played a crucial role in the development of human societies. It's like swapping your sandwich for a friend's cookie at lunch. You both have something the other wants, and you're willing to trade to get it. It's a win-win situation that benefits everyone involved. No money, just stuff for stuff. It's a direct exchange of value, based on what people need and what they're willing to offer. It requires trust, negotiation, and a good understanding of what things are worth. If both want what the other has, a deal is made. It's a moment of agreement, a sign that both parties are satisfied with the exchange. It strengthens the bonds between individuals and communities. People traded skills and goods, recognizing that everyone had something valuable to contribute. Some were skilled hunters, others were expert toolmakers, and still others were talented healers, like fur vests for spearheads. A warm fur vest could protect you from the cold, while a sharp spearhead could help you hunt for food. These were essential items for survival, and people were willing to trade to get them. But what if Og didn't want rocks today? What if she already had enough rocks, or if she needed something else entirely? This is where the challenges of bartering began to emerge. Or Ugg wanted berries, but Og wanted a spear? Maybe Og had her eye on a finely crafted spear, but Ugg didn't have one to offer. These kinds of mismatches could make bartering difficult and frustrating. Suddenly bartering got tricky. It wasn't always easy to find someone who had what you wanted and wanted what you had. This double coincidence of wants was a major obstacle to efficient trade. Sometimes trades just didn't work out. Despite their best efforts, Ugg and Og couldn't always find a mutually beneficial exchange. This could lead to disappointment and unmet needs. Humans needed a better way, a more efficient and reliable system for exchanging goods and services. They needed a way to overcome the limitations of bartering and ensure that everyone could get what they needed, and they were about to invent it. The seeds of innovation were being sown, and the quest for a better way to trade would eventually lead to the invention of something truly revolutionary. Money, but that's a story for another time. Imagine a world without money, where you couldn't just pop into a store and buy what you need. Instead, you'd have to trade goods and services directly. This is called bartering, and while it might sound simple, it can be a real headache. Let's dive in and see why. Imagine you're a master mud pie maker. You spend your days crafting the most delicious, most visually stunning mud pies the world has ever seen. You're truly proud of your creations and everyone agrees they are the best. But as much as you love your mud pies, you're craving something different. Today, you really want fish. That juicy, flaky, protein-packed goodness is all you can think about. So, you gather up your finest mud pie, the one with the perfect swirl of colors, and head down to the river to find Fisher Fiona. You offer her your prized mud pie, hoping for a tasty trade. But Fiona shakes her head. "I appreciate the offer," she says, "but I need a net to catch more fish, not mud pies. I already have plenty of mud." This is called the double coincidence of wants, a tricky problem with bartering. It means that both people involved in the trade have to simultaneously want what the other person has to offer. It's not enough for you to want Fiona's fish. Fiona has to want your mud pie in return. And it all has to happen at the same time. Fiona might need mud pies next week, but if she doesn't need one right now, you're out of luck. The timing has to be perfect. If Fiona doesn't want your mud pie at this very moment, you're out of luck. No fish for you today. You'll have to find someone else who wants mud pies and has something you need. This double coincidence problem made bartering incredibly slow. Finding someone with the exact thing you wanted, who also wanted what you had, could take days, weeks, or even months. And sometimes, finding that perfect match was simply impossible. You might have something valuable, but if nobody wanted it, you were stuck. Another big problem with bartering was fairness. How do you decide what's a fair trade? How many mud pies should equal one fish? Is it 1 pie? 5 pies? 10? It's hard to say. Or what if it's a really big fish? Does that mean you need to offer even more mud pies? These questions led to endless arguments and disagreements. People constantly argued over the relative value of their goods. Trading big, bulky things for small things was also a huge challenge. How do you trade a whole mammoth for a basket of berries? It's not exactly practical. And what if you needed something smaller than what you had? You can't exactly trade half a cow for a loaf of bread. Dividing things up could be difficult, if not impossible. Another major problem was spoilage. What if your goods spoiled before you could find someone to trade with? Bananas don't last forever. Neither do berries or meat or any other perishable goods. All these issues combined made bartering a messy, inefficient, and often frustrating way to get what you needed. It was clear that people needed something better, something that could solve all these problems. They needed something everyone would want, something that held its value, and something that could be easily traded anytime, anywhere. That's when the brilliant idea of money started to take shape in the minds of early humans, a universal medium of exchange. Let's see how this revolutionary idea transformed the world and paved the way for the modern economy. People got clever. They needed something everyone agreed was valuable. Enter the first money, not coins or bills, but things like cowrie shells. Shells were pretty, rare, and didn't break easily, perfect for trading. In some places, people used beads, animal teeth, or special feathers. The community agreed these things had value. Now, you could trade mud pies for shells, then use shells to buy fish. No more hunting for the perfect trade. Money made things flexible. It was a huge step up from bartering. People could save, spend, and plan. Trading got easier, and life got a whole lot smoother. But the story of money was just getting started. Some cultures got super creative. On the island of Yap, people used giant stone discs called rye stones as money. These stones were huge, sometimes taller than a person. They were valuable because they were hard to get. Ownership changed by agreement, not by moving the stone. Other places used salt, tea bricks, or even cheese as money. Early money was wild and wonderful. Anything could be cash if everyone agreed. People wanted money that was easy to carry, divide, and trust. Around 2,700 years ago in Lydia, now Turkey, someone had a shiny idea: coins. They used electrum, a mix of gold and silver, and stamped it with a symbol to guarantee its value. Now, everyone knew what a coin was worth, no more guessing. Coins spread fast: Greece, Rome, and beyond. Each place made its own coins, often with pictures of rulers or gods. Coins were made from valuable metals, so they had real worth. This made trading fair and simple. Coins were a game changer for trade and trust. The world was ready for a new age of money. Let's see why coins rocked. Coins! They were an absolute sensation. A game changer. Coins were a hit. People went wild for them. It was like discovering a whole new world of possibilities, all wrapped up in these shiny, portable little discs. The impact was immediate and widespread. Everyone, from merchants to farmers, from kings to commoners, embraced this new form of currency with open arms. It was a revolution in the way people thought about and used money. But why? What made these little metal discs so incredibly popular? Why did they capture the hearts and minds of people across different cultures and continents? What was it about coins that made them such a resounding success? Why? Let's dive into the reasons behind the coin craze and explore the features that made them so revolutionary. First and foremost, they were incredibly portable. Imagine the convenience. No more struggling with bulky or awkward items. Coins were small, lightweight, and easy to carry around. You could slip them into your pocket, tuck them into a pouch, or carry them in a small bag. They were the perfect on-the-go currency. Before coins, people had to deal with some pretty cumbersome forms of currency. Think about lugging giant stones across town just to buy a loaf of bread, or dragging heavy sacks of salt to the market. It was exhausting and impractical. Coins eliminated all of that hassle. No more lugging giant stones or sacks of salt. Durability was another key factor in the success of coins. Unlike many other forms of currency that were perishable or easily damaged, coins were built to last. They could withstand the wear and tear of daily use and still retain their value. Coins lasted for years, even centuries. Imagine trying to use a bag of grain as currency. It could spoil, get wet, or be eaten by rodents. Coins, on the other hand, were resistant to the elements and immune to decay. No spoiling, no breaking. They were a reliable store of value that you could count on. The durability of coins also made them ideal for saving. You could stash them away in a jar, bury them in the ground, or hide them under your mattress. You could save them for later, knowing that they would still be in good condition when you needed them. Unlike perishable goods that lose their value over time, coins retained their worth indefinitely. You could save them for years, even decades, and they'd still be good. This made them a powerful tool for building wealth and securing your future. Another advantage of coins was their versatility. They came in different sizes and values, making it easy to conduct transactions of all sizes. Whether you were buying a loaf of bread or a new house, there were coins to suit your needs. The variety of denominations made it easy to make change and conduct precise transactions. Easy to make change. Before coins, people relied on bartering, which could be a complicated and inefficient process. Finding someone who had what you wanted and wanted what you had could be a real challenge. No more awkward trades. Imagine trying to trade a cow for a loaf of bread. How much of the cow would you have to give? What if the baker didn't need a whole cow? It could lead to some pretty ridiculous situations like half a cow for bread. Coins were also standardized, meaning that each coin of a particular denomination had the same weight, size, and purity. This made them easy to recognize and use. Because coins were standardized, people could trust that they were worth what they claimed to be. This eliminated the need to weigh or test each coin before accepting it. Everyone trusted their value. Coins were typically stamped with a seal or emblem that indicated their origin. The stamp showed where they came from, often a kingdom or city-state. The stamp also indicated the coin's value, making it easy to determine its worth at a glance. This helped to prevent fraud and ensure that people were getting a fair price, and what they were worth. With standardized coins and clear markings, there was no need to haggle or argue over their value. Transactions became much smoother and more efficient. No more guessing or arguing. The ease and efficiency of using coins made trade much faster. Merchants could quickly exchange goods and services without having to worry about the complexities of bartering. Coins made trade fast. The standardized value of coins ensured that transactions were fair for both buyers and sellers. Everyone knew what they were getting and there was less room for dishonesty or exploitation. Fair. The consistent quality and value of coins made them a reliable medium of exchange. People could count on them to hold their value and be accepted in trade. And reliable. With coins, people could travel to new places and trade with confidence. They no longer had to worry about carrying bulky goods or finding someone who wanted to barter. People could travel. Coins made it easier to shop for goods and services, and they also provided a safe and convenient way to save for the future. Shop and save with confidence. The introduction of coins had a profound impact on the world economy. They facilitated trade, encouraged savings, and promoted economic growth. Coins truly changed the world of money. But the story of money doesn't end with coins. In fact, it was just the beginning. Money continued to evolve and adapt to the changing needs of society. But money kept evolving. So, buckle up and get ready for a whirlwind tour of monetary history. Let's take a speedy ride through history and see what other innovations came along. Coins were awesome, but money kept changing. In China, carrying lots of coins was a pain, so they invented paper money. Light, easy, and trusted. Paper money spread, and soon banks in Europe used banknotes, promises to pay gold or silver. Eventually, most countries used fiat money, valuable because the government says so. Then came credit cards, debit cards, and now digital money. Today you can pay with your phone or computer. Money is often just numbers on a screen. From shiny coins to invisible code, money keeps evolving. It's all about trust and convenience. The journey of money is far from over. Let's see what money looks like now. Today, money comes in many forms: coins, bills, and digital numbers. Coins are handy for small things like a gumball or saving in a piggy bank. Paper money is for bigger buys: books, toys, tickets. Most money now is digital. When you use a card or app, money moves electronically. It's fast, convenient, and sometimes feels invisible. New ideas like cryptocurrencies are changing money again. From coins you can touch to digital blips, money keeps adapting. It helps us buy, save, and plan. Money is a tool that grows with us. The future? Who knows? But money will keep changing. What does money mean to you? Maybe you get an allowance, earn money, or save up for something special. Money gives us choices: save, spend, or share. It helps us plan, get what we need, and reach our goals. Next time you see a coin or a card, remember the amazing journey of money. From rocks to digital code, it's all about trust and working together. Use money wisely, keep learning, and stay curious. Thanks for joining me. Bill Nye, signing off.